The Santa Claus. We think we know him, but who is the Santa Claus? The red velvet suit, the snow-white beard, the laugh that shakes like a bowl full of jelly. We see him in shopping malls, soda commercials, and parades. We call him Santa Claus, Father Christmas, Saint Nick. A warm, comfortable fairy tale we unwrap every December. But long before the ads, before the sleigh, before the North Pole, there was a real man. A man who did not build toys. He battled a brutal world of blood, dust, and Roman iron. He didn't fly, he fought. This is not a story about magic. It's a story about a dangerous, uncompromising love. The story of Nicholas. The year is 270 AD. The Patara, a bright port city on the Lycian coast of modern-day Turkey. Nicholas was born here, not into myth, but into wealth. His parents, Epiphanes and Johann, were wealthy Greek Christians in a world where Christians lived quietly, afraid of the empire. But life rarely stays peaceful. A plague swept the empire, the plague of Cyprian. In days, Nicholas stood alone in an empty house. Both of his parents died. He stood alone, an orphan with more money than he could ever spend. Gold, silver, land, and power. In Rome, wealth was everything. But Nicholas looked at his fortune and saw something different in the glitter of that gold. A burden and a weapon. He remembered the words of his faith. To whom much is given, much will be required. So he made a decision that defied the logic of Rome itself. He would give it all away, every last coin, but anonymously. No glory, no applause, only mercy. In his town lived a poor man with 3 daughters. In those days, a girl without a dowry could not marry. Her only future was slavery or the brothel. The father was drowning in shame and fear. Nicholas heard the story. He could have walked to their door like a hero, but he didn't want the credit. He wanted to protect their dignity. One dark night, Nicholas carried a heavy bag of gold to their open window. He didn't knock, he didn't speak, he simply threw it in. The next night, he returned with a second bag. Another daughter saved. On the third night, the father stayed awake, hiding in the shadows. When Nicholas tossed the third bag, the father ran outside. He caught the young man, pulled back the hood, and saw Nicholas, the orphan boy who refused to keep his wealth. The father collapsed, trying to kiss his feet, but Nicholas pulled away, fierce and trembling. "Stand up. Give thanks to God, not to me." Nicholas became the Bishop of Myra, not a soft, gentle bishop, but a fearless one. He lived through the violent persecution of Christians under Emperor Diocletian. He was arrested, beaten, and tortured. His nose was broken, a mark he carried for life. He didn't only give gifts, he fought injustice. Ancient writings tell of a day when a corrupt governor ordered the execution of 3 innocent men. The sword was already raised, and then Nicholas appeared. He did not pray from afar. He charged the execution block, grabbed the executioner's blade with his bare hands that once held bags of gold, and hurled it aside. He stood between the men and death, flames of righteous fury in his eyes. "You bloodthirsty criminal, I will not spare you." The governor collapsed in terror. This was the real Saint Nick, not a jolly elf, a warrior who blocked death with his own hands. So, how did this brave bishop become the cheerful Santa we know? History reshapes heroes. History slowly changed him. After Nicholas died on December 6, 343 AD, his legend exploded. Sailors stole his body and brought it to Bari, Italy. People believed his bones produced a healing liquid called manna. He became the protector of sailors, the poor, and eventually, children. Over centuries, stories transformed. The Dutch called him Saint Nicholas, Sinterklaas. They imagined him riding a white horse and leaving gifts in wooden shoes. Then came America. Washington Irving gave him a flying wagon. Clement Clark Moore gave him 8 reindeer. Thomas Nast drew him in a red suit at the North Pole, and Coca-Cola gave him the friendly face we recognize today. But no matter how the story changed, the heart of Santa stayed the same. A man who sees someone in need and helps without expecting anything back. A man who fills an empty stocking with hope. In a world that teaches us to keep everything for ourselves, Nicholas teaches us something different. Real power is the power to give. Tony Robbins once said, "The secret to living is giving." Nicholas learned that truth 1,700 years ago on a silent street in Patara. You don't need a sleigh to be Santa. You don't need reindeer or magic. You only need to see someone suffering and have the courage to help. So, who is the real Santa Claus? Maybe it can be you. Merry Christmas, everyone!